What's up? So the final video in this series, I want to talk about the notion of problems or solutions. And maybe you've heard this a series of ways, like in the shadow is the work, or what we talk about sacred mirrors. This idea that what you see, right, your reality, what you experience, see, hear, feel, taste, touch, the things that you're inputting into your being that tell you this is what I'm noticing, right? In that environment, your unconscious mind loves to present to you all of the things that you can use to heal for yourself. And they do it through reflecting in situations. And if you do any of the work that we're in, or if you follow us at all, you start to understand this notion of original wounds, that we all have original wounds. Something happens in our youth that was challenging, hard to process, traumatic, whatever you want to call it, and as a result, a wound occurred, an emotional wound. And what's really fascinating about the subconscious is, amongst other things, it loves to remind you of those wounds by replaying the emotional landscape in problems, right? Because problems get your attention. You have to focus on problems, right? So when you realize that a problem is being presented to you by your subconscious to be looked at differently, right? To understand what it is and to gain the learnings, then as a result, you start to notice that the problem was the gateway to finding the emotional blockage, right? That was a mouthful. So your problems that you're dealing with become a window for you to look at, right? What am I feeling right now? What's happening in my environment right now? What is the actual problem, right? And if you get past the story of the problem and you look at the emotional landscape, you'll start to realize that it has a similar emotional landscape to a time in the past. This is because your subconscious wants you to pay attention so you can heal from it. See, the subconscious mind does something interesting as well, which is it presents to you these problems again and again to see if you have the capacity to heal and move on, because the point is evolution. So when you have the capacity to move on from it, then it presents the problem one last time so you can gain the learnings. There's a 3-step process to healing. The first step is to acknowledge, to actually see it. So your subconscious mind constantly presents to you these problems so you can actually see the solution in the problem. That's the first step. The second step is a whole series of things which has to do with finding a way to say what needs to be said, to be heard, to be seen, to all of that. And then the third is to gain the learnings. It's a 3-step process. So your problem allows you an opportunity to look at the original wound if you have the understanding of the language of the subconscious, obviously. So you can gain the learnings and you can evolve and move on. Your problems are your solutions. Just learn how to read them and all is good.